Hello, everybody. Back to our regular Thinking Thursday. And before we start, I'd like everybody to mute themselves. So today, our guest speaker is Dr. Dharmesh Shah. And I'm going to read out um, all the wonderful details about him. So he is an M.B.B.S consultant, child psychiatrist, art psychotherapist, sound therapist, and life coach. He's practicing in Surat for more than 22 years, and he has been a counselor to many schools. He has trained more than 10,000 teachers and delivered talks on various topics like learning problems, effective learning strategies, learning processes, psychological development of children, teacher by choice and not by chance, and many more. He has been instrumental in training art of parenting sessions for parents of various age groups, and more than 1 lakh parents have benefited from his practical insights. Now, that didn't stop here. Increasing lifestyle diseases and various life-threatening disorders were perceived as quite painful, and that compelled Dr. Shah to think of a center that provides holistic healing of body, mind, and spirit. That was the birth of Holistica World in 2015. Holistica World is India's first scientific lifestyle management and disease reversal center with an aim to offer global level holistic healthcare services under one roof by amalgamation of modern medical science, human psyche, alternative healing strategies, and Vedic treatments. In 5 years, more than 500 people have reversed their lifestyle diseases like diabetes, thyroid, hypertension, and many more, and are enjoying disease-free, healthy life and free from medicines. I welcome Dr. Dharmesh Shah, who also has been trained as a past life regression therapist and an inner child healer. So Dr. Shah is here with us, and I'm sure many of you would like to ask him many questions. But before that, let me just show you a couple of slides about his Holistica Healing Center at Surat. This wonderful picture that you see here, which I saw when I went to Surat and I visited the center, is a beautiful meditation cave. So when you enter this, can you see how beautifully the lights are? And you know, when the room becomes dark, there are stars, the tiny stars will or lights will appear, which actually look like stars. So it's really beautiful. And if you ever go to Surat, you must visit and possibly sit in the cave and actually meditate. Here is Dr. Shah giving a little talk on meditation. I also have a little video on his Holistica Center, which I'd like to share with everybody before I hand over the mic to Dharmesh. So everybody who's present here, I'm sure, are really impressed with what they saw. And obviously, today, Dr. Dharmesh is going to talk about parenting teenagers, an extremely important topic, and I think close to most of us. So Dr. Shah, over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm really obliged and honored today. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible, but I think a little louder would be good.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much, Ma. And I'm really honored and obliged to share my insights and experiences today for more than 22 years with child psychiatry. And just keep on admitting people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You don't worry, Dharmesh. You continue. I'll be getting people in, so don't worry. Okay.
Chima,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And thank you all the participants for being there to understand this beautiful and I would say the required need of the time topic. And beyond all the credentials, I would say that two credentials which I wanted to share myself that in my journey of child psychiatry, when I was pursuing at Sion Hospital, and I had been pursuing some courses with SIS College. I had first been a student of Guptima, and after another 20 years, I have been again a student for past life regression and inner childhood. This whole journey I'm indebted and definitely looking forward to your validation today as well, because I think this validation of my experiences would be great today with all of us. So thank you so much again. No words to express the excitement I have. Uh, so taking it forward, I will straight away start sharing my screen. So it's visible, ma?
Yes, absolutely. It's visible. Absolutely clear.
Great.
Manji.
So very important topic, as I said, and I think if we can invest in this years, those who are parents or about to be parents or are in counseling branches or in counseling profession or those who might have reared their children, but then, this is something very important transition phase, which we all need to understand and give our best possible. So I would be sharing not much of the theoretical background of psychological developments, of course, some which I would be sharing, but more I would be sharing a very practical tips, which, if imbibed rightly, would definitely give you a carving niche to deal with your kids, or if, as I said, you are in the profession, will definitely help you in that. So I'm actually going to talk, or and it's an approach or GPS, for the pursuit of ethical, rewarding, and joyous parenting. So what I'm going to talk about is completely guided and under the supervision of science and art both. So today something agenda is something going to be like this. So first is context into parenting insights. Then we would look into the world of teenagers. What's happening around, what are the messages around, what is happening. Then if at all we want a very successful team or a happy team, then what are the life vitamins, which is called psychosocial emotional vitamins for a happy transition to young adult. If not these vitamins are fulfilled, then what wrong can go, and how can you early identify the signs of disturbed teens? And what could be the speed breakers which are coming in the way for effective parenting, or probably going to leading to distorted behavior in teens? So one, we would be discussing on what's going around among the teenagers for generation Z. Then what are the psychological or psycho-developmental milestones? What are the early signs of disturbed teens? And if at all we want a happy transition to a young adult, what is the best effective parenting pattern? What is the best parenting style? Okay, and what should be the right way of communication so that the message, what you want to give to the children, can go very easily and effectively. That's called LBOS pattern. And once the solution comes to you, I think then I would be open to question answers. In between also, if you want to ask any questions, I would be open to that. So I would try to finish and sum up my talk with 45 minutes and then would be definitely open to question answers. So let's move on. So somewhat of theory and then we'll definitely seep and sink into the actual factual life around us. So parenting is not only about reproducing a life, but also about nurturing, flourishing, and caring a soul. And every soul, every child is a soul in evolution. So there is a beautiful story of Michelangelo. You know, he was once asked that because he was from the parallel times of Leonardo da Vinci, and all sculptures and paintings or art are still, the state of the art and still very famous. So once, people asked Michelangelo, what is so special about you? Why your every sculpture is a state of the art? What is so special? So beautiful answer, which I would like to relate to our parenting task is that he said that ये जो पत्थर है, ये जो stone है, there is already a murti within. I just created a sculpture by removing the unnecessary part. I would repeat again. ये जो पत्थर है उसमें मूर्ति पहले से ही है. मैंने सिर्फ उसको शेप दिया है, जो काम का पार्ट नहीं है उसको निकालते हुए. So this soul who has come through us, actually is aware of its purpose. Our role as a parent is to facilitate the process, is to empower the process so that a beautiful soul can understand and empower his own reason to be here. But at the same time, we also need to understand in parenting that we are victims of victims. We all do a lot of trial and errors. Of course, our intentions are best or genuine, right? There cannot be any intention to be harming the child, but still, where we did learned any parenting task? Is there any university? Is there any college where we learned this? So we learned, so that's what we say, we are victims of victim. I'm a victim of my victim, who are my parents. They did with the best intention, a lot of trial and error. And that's what we do, my dear friends, with the best intention. But the time has come now to understand, is my approach really helping the child to evolve? And that's what now has been proved. Parenting, though never required to learn or was never taught, is a scientific art. It is not just art, it is a scientific art. There is a perfect science to cause and effect. The only thing we need to understand that, we need to be aware of our approach. We need to review our own self. What I wanted to communicate, has it really gone the right way? And for which we need to be aware and equipped with the insights of psychosocial emotional milestones. If you're aware, you will be less anxious. A simple example, अगर 2 से 6 साल के अंदर, if a child between 2 to 6 years is throwing tantrums, is not responding to your demands or requests, then it's fine. Because that is where the self starts developing. So if a parent comes to us who says that my child is 3 or 4 years old and is so very good, if I say something, go and sit there in the corner, get a glass of water for me, and he respects and he responds to all my requests, believe me, my heartbeat goes high. Because that's not normal. So rebelling attitude, maybe between 2 to 6 years, has been understood as normal. So what I mean to say, my dear friends, is that These type of developmental milestones we need to be aware of to deal effective with them. And finally, we are what? So as I said, we are custodians, we are facilitators and partners. Today, the topic is parenting teens. A lot of parents say to their kids that now you should understand me as a friend. You should tell me everything. You should confide me like a friend. But just put your hand on your heart and be true to yourself. Are we really becoming ourselves as a friend? So this is the topic today, which I want to really shape our own belief system, our own approach, and give you a very, very practical insights. I would say it's an experience what I'm sharing today of 22 years as a journey which I have seen in the last 22 years. So with this context in mind, what's our goal of parenting things? What is our goal? We want to shape them, right? So the child which is confused, not clear what he or she wants to do in life, and we want a child, a transition who is absolutely free, is clear with his or her life, okay, is passionate enough and is ready to move on. So we want to shape the teams. So let's warm up here, let's have some warm up foods. So I'm just building up the context so that we can actually go and sink deep into the journey of teenage parenting. But this is what is happening around us. So in nutshell, I'm just trying to build up the context. A lot of people say you are what you eat. But I say little reverse, or I'll say little different. You are not what you eat, but you are what you cannot digest. So what are we unable to digest? One is food, water, air, lifestyle, and very important, thoughts. Thoughts is something we are unable to digest, and we just work without understanding in detail how dangerous or how effective they are in disturbing our life or in productivity. So we work on the concept called life skills. So we have one concept called life school where we work with children, and where we have researched that we say that these 17 skills I wish I could learn in life, which is not something taught in the schools, but is very, very important. So now try and just observe the world around you with the teens, right? You may not be parent of teens, or you might have already become parent of teens and they might have moved on, but you must have teens around you. There are major two problems which are lacking in teens and youth. Two major vitamins are like. Whatever problem you figure out in the youth, they will majorly come from these two domains. One, lack of hunger. See, if your stomach is full, will you take up the food? That's what is happening to these kids. Hungry nahi hai. They don't have hunger to challenge their own limits, to challenge their life, to move on, because before they are hungry, everything is provided. And parents say that, we have suffered, so we need to provide our children with all the luxuries. But in doing that, one major factor which we are seeing in today's children is they are not ready to learn. They are not ready to fight. They don't want anything. They are not motivated. And then we are giving lectures on motivation and what not. But why this has happened? So one very important is that they don't have hunger. And second is their frustration tolerance is very low. If you see the problem of youth, teenagers, and let's say mental health problem, the whole range of problem will fall only into these two categories. What is depression? It's low frustration tolerance. What is anxiety? Is low frustration tolerance. What is suicide? Is low frustration tolerance. What is relationship problem? Is a low frustration tolerance. What is attrition? Not sticking at one place is a low frustration tolerance. What is, constant fights and homicides and lot of other things happening is a low frustration tolerance. Why are they not motivated? There is no hunger. Why are they not challenging their limits? Because there is no hunger. See, dear friends, it's all coming from only two vitamins which is lacking. And it's our task as a parent. We don't say that we are going to put them into painful situations or poverty situations, but it's our role to ensure that these two important qualities, क्योंकि hunger नहीं होगा तो why they will work for themselves, why they will search something, why they will move on, why they will polish themselves. It's not hunger, then nothing can happen. So these two important vitamins, how to develop this? Because I am into mental health industry, dealing with child psychiatry, and believe me guys, the problems are really very scary. The difference between youth and parents, or difference between teenage and parents, having differentiation of thoughts or different thoughts or adjustment issues were always there before also. But these much differences has, on a significant level, it's so high that is leading to a lot of mental health problems. Since 2007 to 2015, the world has recorded, according to CDC, 54% rise in childhood depression. There was a study done in 2013 and 2017 in US, where they said they followed for more than 3,100 people. So almost 3 lakh people they followed, and they could find that in US, 3,000 people, 3,000 teens or youth or young age children, they think of taking their life. Growth has happened, but has come at a big cost to mental health problems. We all need to be aware of it. And believe me, another 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a beautiful solution how this can be prevented at our level and we can contribute to the society as well. And that's what we say, if this country or if we need to flourish or if we want our children need to flourish, teenager is the best time to invest. If you don't invest now, then you will have to pay the cost throughout the life. So this is the time to invest. So with this humble question, are you ready to make a journey with me? In that case, let's go for a drive together and explore the world of teenagers, how this is happening around us, where the world is gone, and we all understand and consider this as normal, which is not, which is really not. We pay the huge cost. So what is happening? So this is what the teens world has happened. The first image where, as I said, so you are what you cannot digest. This is something the child or the youth is constantly into. If the intake is wrong, what is going to happen? We are into disease reversal and lifestyle management, consultancy, and we see a 25-year-old person suffering from type 2 diabetes, thyroid, hypertension, hypercholesterolemia. Why? Because wrong investment has been done at this age. Second image shows about the focus concept in the digital platform. Average screen time has gone to 4 to 5 hours. And these all are leading to increased vata element in the thoughts. Their attention problem has come to a big challenge. Their focus. You all must read a book called Focus by Daniel Goleman. Beautiful book. You know, in the initial stage, he says the time has come when 10, friends go to the hotel together. They sit together, they order together. Their 10 friends, they go to hotel together, they sit together, they order together. They eat together, but they are alone together. They order together, they sit together, they eat together, but they are alone together. This is what has happened. There are 10 people, but they are alone in together. Akele hai wo log. Because everyone is with their own phones. And this is somewhat happening with even the young adults. If you see another image, it's a prioritization or excessive, hunger with, a different alternate sex. Right? Performance pressure, drugs abuse. Drugs abuse is a big challenge in US, big challenge, and this our country is also facing. It's so easily available that everyone is getting into trap of it. Teenage suicide, it's a big challenge coming up. ये सब हमारे आसपास है. ये एक वर्ल्ड में आप लोगों को दिखा रहा हूँ. It's good and we are blessed that our kids are not into this, but we are surrounded by this. And I'm going to give you very practical insights. इतना अगर हम लोग ध्यान दे रखेंगे, इतना आप लोग ढूंढ पाओगे तो you also can be a best effective parent and can help others as well and contribute to the society. Teen suicide, there is average, in Gujarat, I'm talking about, average one suicide a day. This is a reported statistic. उसके कहीं ज़्यादा होंगे, but average teen suicide. And then related to obesity, these all are around us. So this is somewhat, of course, this is the tip of an iceberg, but then who is on the tip of iceberg, we never know. So why these things has happened? So then the question is, should we wait for the teen to become an adult and then invest huge sums? But if not, we are not ready to accept the situation, then the time to act is now. So as I said, if these are the things which we don't accept, or if we don't want to accept, and we want a very happy, healthy transition from teenage to an adulthood, we need to understand, just say, if you want to make the best of the best dish, then you need to know what the best ingredients are required, right? To make the best recipe or to make the best food. So as I said, there is an age psychology which demands certain psychological development to happen. Then and then only the person with a healthy belief system will move on. Let me repeat this. Every age has an age psychological developmental milestones. If person goes through that phase, experiencing this milestones, he moves to further phase, right? Further phase with conquering those milestones, okay? And then only he moves to another stage in a better way. And there are various stages which are described and given. So 0 to 2, 2 to 7, 7 to 11, 11 to 19, and so on. Now, when we are talking of teens, my dear friends, there are two major vitamins or life vitamins for healthy teen transition to happen. The first very important vitamin, those who have a teenage child or dealing with teens, very much please ensure that first vitamin required is a very good peer group acceptance. Now, this is an age when person is actually developing self, a self which says that who am I? What good strengths are there in me? What am I supposed to do? What I can do? So the team is going into the bigger world to find out who am I? And for finding that who am I, two major vitamins or ingredients which is fundamentally required, a very important one is very good peer group acceptance. In this age, especially if it starts from 9 onwards and goes to 17, 18, okay, in this age, if any child comes to us and says that I don't have a friend, I don't have time to play, no one talks to me, I understand and we consider this as a psychological emergency because that is attacking his self-development. And that's very, very important. And so playing with the peer groups or having time with the peer groups is fundamentally utmost requirement of this age. Because of COVID, unfortunately, people got disconnected. Children couldn't come for the play, and that has taken lot of tolls. When the school reopened, since I'm connected to many schools, what one thing we ensured that to make child accept the school environment again, to to become friendly to the school and education environment, one very thing which we incorporated was play. So play is very, very important. If I normally say to my parents, if at all you are given a choice that you have only one thing to give to your child, right? You have only one possibility that you can gift your child, give them play. Ensure that they are given the right opportunity to play for 35, 40 minutes with great grounding effect, with great leadership, with great time management, with great lot of skill development will happen in play. And that's what they will learn the life vitamins there. So as I said, it's very good peer group acceptance. And second is effective role modeling. Now, peer group acceptance, if the child is introvert, if the child finds it difficult to play with the kids, it's not something that is available in the market, right? But as I said, for making up self, दो चीजों की बहुत requirement है. One is very good peer group acceptance, right? Second is effective role modeling. Now, peer groups may not be available in market. If the child is introvert, immediately child may not find right appropriate environment for play. If child has a day boarding school or boarding tuitions, a lot of things which is happening in cities now, traveling, commuting time. Second very important factor is role modeling. Now, of course, role models would be parents and where other people can be there, but most easily available are the parents. Where programming biologically has been seen that for boy, it is more of father, for girl, it is more of mother. Both are required, but biological programming goes like this. So If a boy is there, how much quality time a father spends with him? That's very important. And when I say quality time, if at all we are giving 20 minutes, I will very specifically say 18 minutes you have to listen. And 2 minutes you can say something, but it can never be advice or questions. If you reevaluate most of the pattern, it is almost the reverse. We give for 18 minutes, बोलते ही रहते हैं, सलाह देते ही रहते हैं, पूछते ही रहते हैं. So, when it's role modeling, it's how effectively we can enter child's life. So even if it's, let's say, 20 minutes, it is 18 minutes of pure listening. And when we listen, it's not hearing. We actually go into their shoes and try to understand their world. We become non-judgmental for the time being. We don't judge and operate from our window. We judge, or rather, even if we try to understand, it's from their window, their process. See, believe me, friends, this all seemingly super theoretical, but once you apply this, believe me, it's my personal experience with my son, and with opportunity to train a lot of parents, we have seen remarkable, significant difference. So these two vitamins are very, very important. One is peer group acceptance, and second is effective role modeling. If peer group we are unable to manage, but then if at all role modeling is rightly done, then also you are in a better place that your child's self will be well taken care. When I say self, is his ego state, which is his own persona, his personality to deal with the situations, coping mechanisms. This all will develop here, right? So let me take on. So we saw the world of how the teenage is going around, how the problems are going around, how the mental health problems are around us. But if we don't want that, which definitely we would not wish to have this, in that case, what are those effective life vitamins for healthy transition? One would be peer group acceptance. And for which, if you can play or if you can allow the play opportunities, right, that's fundamentally important. If you see the child from beginning, one thing which has simply, gone and toss is a play. Everyone has become activities. There's no play, there is a free play, right? See, even if you go to Goa and somebody is managing you how to, enjoy in Goa, even Goa would become a headache for you. You need to enjoy your way, and that's the basic difference between play and activity. A lot of people send their kids for, basketball or table tennis or not that, but let it be a free play. That's very, very important. As I said, if at all only one thing you can give to your children, please, please, please give them play. Give them enough opportunities to play, make them messy, so that they understand how to move on. So these are the two important vitamins. If not somehow missed out, and if the self-ego stage or a self is disturbed, then what will happen? How will you know that something is wrong with my child? What are the, as I said, some in the illness there are early signs. So what are the early signs of disturbed teenage? So irritability, easy crying, कुछ भी बोल दिया, थोड़ा सा भी बोला and it starts crying or angry outbursts. What is this showing? Is a low frustration tolerance. See, so far this was so automatically planned. We never planned to play, we played. And this was so happening normally that everything has moved out. And if you understand and go back, what happened in COVID? The concept of minimalism, the whole family came together, there was a free play, everyone was participating, everyone was listening to each other, everyone was giving the best exercise, everyone was breathing, and that's how even nature started coming back. And that's the beauty of this. So if you understand and rightly invest, understanding the right vitamins of the psychological development, your future, you need not worry. Don't need to worry for future, don't need to prepare for future, don't need to invest and keep in bank money for future. They will have their own because they have understood their self, who they are, what they want to do. They are hungry to evolve, search into their own self. But if those vitamins gets disturbed because of any reasons, see, and there is a beautiful part of the psychological milestones. The day you understand that something has gone wrong, and if you make the necessary corrections, the past trauma can be healed. If somehow, unfortunately, you were a wrong role model or you did something wrong, it's fine. Except that you are a victim and you are a humble human being bound to make mistakes. There was no intention which was wrong, but now understand these are the necessary vitamins. And if these vitamins are not fulfilled, these were the likely possible signs. So irritability, easy crying, anger, frustrations for no reasons. Passing time in non-productive things. I see many, youth sitting in cafe for nothing, passing 3, 4, 5 hours as if they don't have anything in life. Hunger in a yana. They are satisfied in some peanut amounts. What they want to achieve, they are not clear. The passion, the reason to be alive is not clear. And these they get from this peer group acceptance, role modeling. Disturbed sleep or oversleeping. Sleep has become a big toss. This sleep is a reset mechanism. The divine has planned sleep for 1/3 of our life. 1/3. Can it be without planning? Everything in the universe is with a plan. It's with a perfect planning, and that's what we have been learning from Mars so far, again and again. But these has gone at a toss. So we are sleeping when we should be actually, getting awake. Now, this is disturbing their neurological developments, attention span. Disturb food or overeating. Over attached to social media, as I said, the screen time average in children has gone to 5 hours plus. This is because of academics or whatever may be the reason, but it has gone to 5 hours plus. So Vayu element, which normally increases after 45-50, that type of Vayu increase is being seen in the kids. So they are attached to social media, they are not with the play. And even if they वो social media पे हारना भी है तो किसको पता है. So in play we learn failure acceptance. That today is my day, tomorrow it may not be. So this beautiful language of play, the character what we imbibe out of play, is not happening because they are over attached to social media. There is no peer group acceptance. So then what to do? And parents also at times for their own comfort. Right from the beginning, we have seen, because we have parents coming for 3 years back, old and all that. So when they come into a consulting day room, they straight away give the phone to the child so that they can talk. Now that has become a norm. Where is the parent playing with the child? Create a play environment. At least take 4 Reliance pillows, which is hardly costing 150 a pillow, and have a wonderful pillow fight at home. You really love it. So children are overly attached to social media. They are not understanding the price attached to it because they don't know what effort their parents must have put, because they have got easily from day one. They're unable to concentrate, and then we are trying for techniques for attention span and a lot of other things to be for attention span. See, in my lot of talks in parenting, I take a topic called ask the right question. It's very important, and on art of questioning. So you need to ask the right question. Lot of parents come and ask how to train children to use less phones or less mobile, or how to keep children away from the phones or mobiles. Is this the right question? If this is the question being asked, then definitely I will find answers related to that. So I will put the phone on in the cupboard board inside the locker, or I will put conditions with the children, because I have asked questions related to mobile. Now, if I little shift the question and ask how I can make my time constructive with my child, or how I can make my child's time more constructive, in that case, you may get some creative answers, which may be related to play or some nature or what else. The same question, if shifted in a different way, probably will put you on the path of finding little creative answers. So these are the signs which are there happening. There are early signs. Children always give signs. Nothing happens overnight. It's how effectively we can catch the clue earlier, so that we can understand and decipher where we made wrong, where we went wrong. And that's what I say, let's review our parenting style, or whatever we communicated, has it reached to my son or daughter rightly? It's very important that we spend time for ourselves, understanding my parenting task for at least 5 minutes. At least once in a day, so that will make lot your work easier. Faulty lifestyle with no exercise, obesity, these are all signs of disturbed teenage development, which is going to be a huge cost later on, be it in their career, in their relationships, right? In their life, in having no passion, in having them diseases. Parents got disease at age 55, 60, understood, but then children having suffering from disease at 20, 25, 30, 26, something unacceptable. But it's the wrong investment, knowingly, unknowingly, which happens in this age group. Addiction, a big problem. All types of addictions. So if this vitamins, as I said, poor peer group acceptance or role modeling is faulty that, and We have not tried to invite the right ingredients or food recipe, then these are the early signs which we all need to identify and understand that we need to work on it. We need to find out. We need help. Let's ask for help. And some of the speed breakers which I want to say. So at times, a lot of lack of quality time we have. So I never ask my parents to give 2 hours, 3 hours, but it's whatever time they give, 20 minutes, it has to be quality time. Was going on walk and then walking individually in the garden or whatever, it's not a quality time. Children understand very clearly this, even if they are 4-year-old child. Faulty communication, as I said, if at all only is in the advising tone, critical tone, sarcastic words would definitely put them down. Excessive use of digital platform. These are the speed breakers which may come across. You need to figure out इसमें से कौन से हैं, right? With permission from and Shakunta ji, and I don't mind sharing this PPT on the group, of course. Then easy availability of all the things. Very important, which are coming as a speed breaker is no play or lack of play. और अगर play है तो सारे activities. Very important is no mentally challenging situations. These are again a big speed breaker. Crisis ही नहीं है तो सोचेगा कैसे वो? So we have to enact or create certain situations where they can experience such type of things. Otherwise, when they go into the bigger world, they are without any of these muscles to fight the situation. ना peer group ढंग का है, ना leadership quality है, ना time management है. And then we have to advise 20-25-year-old person to time management. But क्यों नहीं हुआ वो? उठना क्यों है पता ही नहीं है किसी को, तो उठेगा कैसे? And then he gets up at 9-10 to think, उठना क्यों है? So these type of things the children or the teenagers never experience. So if these things has not happened, then there will be a difficult transition of healthy teen to an adulthood. And these all things are really cost effective. They don't need a huge investment. It only needs a planning in your execution. If you know this GPS, so definitely you will reach the right destination. And that's what the whole idea of this talk is, that you get a right GPS to reach to the perfect destination of happy teenage transition to a successful adult. Performance pressure नहीं झेल पा रहा है, मसल डेवलप ही नहीं हुआ है ना, and faulty lifestyle. So these are the speed breakers. As I said, we understood again, if we recap, the world of teenagers with a lot of mental health problems, really very scary around us. But we need to not worry if we understand the two important vitamins, which I say are life vitamins for any adult or any person or any soul in evolution. At this age, one is peer group acceptance, and second is role modeling, how we are connected to the children. If these vitamins are lacking, then there is a disturbed peace, which we understood the early warning signs. If we catch any of these signs, there is a good point in happy parenting, which I always say that once you understand the need and inject that necessary vitamin by making the necessary corrections, the past trauma can be healed. That's what we learned even in early child healing, inner child healing, right? And we saw dramatic change, dramatic, miraculous change. But since this is, as I said, that's what I said, it's a perfect scientific art. So if you know that these things must have messed up, let's work on this. And these are the likely speed breakers which may not allow you, to fulfill your role as an effective parent. So you need to understand this. So if we know this, then we need to work on it. And the best pattern, as I said, there are many types of parenting style. Different parenting style is not the topic of this talk today, but straight away, the best parenting style is an emotion coach parent. There are 4 types of parenting: authoritarian, authoritative, laissez-faire. Okay. This is the best parenting, style, which is called emotion coach. And we are coach. We are not we are the custodian, we are not the owners. So we have to coach. And when we have to coach, what is the style very effective of this? I'm coming to an end, maybe another 10-15 minutes, and then would be very much welcome to the questioner. So emotion coach parent क्या होता है? Say accept feelings unconditionally. रो रहा है तो रोने की जरूरत नहीं है, गुस्सा हो रहा है तो गुस्सा क्यों हो रहा है, why are you getting so angry? This is not the way to behave. We don't see the behavior. We don't see the behavior in nutshell and judge and throw a reaction on this. We accept the feelings unconditionally, and this is the time when you should be putting aside everything and talk with your kids. Because emotion coach parents see feelings and sad moments as opportunity to talk. See, one thing, if at all you want to practice and happily practice, and I would say give yourself a very fulfilled role as a parent, is try to possibly incorporate non-judgmental approach. This, I think, can work in any part of the life, but at least with the kids, this is going to be simply amazing. So once we look at this, as I said, we saw the early warning signs, gussa, crying, right? Temper tantrums, attached to the TV platform, attached to the digital platform. These are all disturbed signs on the surface. The root cause is not the feelings on the surface or not the external behavior. The root cause is internal disturbances at the thoughts level, at the self level, which we need to work on it. And that's the role of emotion coach parents. So they see the feelings, or they accept feelings unconditionally and see those moments as opportunity to talk. If you're busy and the child comes crying to you and say, I want to talk something, even if you're busy, you can tell that, my son, my daughter, darling, I really want to listen to you, but just give me some time. And once the busy part is over, immediately go and sit with the child and talk. And the best part of that, which is somewhat out of my practice, my self-designed approach, which will work wonders, miracle. Try this. Right? There's no chance of failure in this pattern, and that's LBOS pattern. So first is listening. If the child wants to vomit out, if the child wants to say something to you, if the youth wants to say, we just don't judge or analyze anything. That's what a lot of my favorite sentence I use is, more you analyze, more you get paralyzed. Don't analyze, simply listen. Let the child vomit out whatever he or she wants to say. Right, wrong is not important. He or she understanding that my mom or dad are listening to me the way I want. It's very, very important here. And then we validate. Validate will at least make them humble and accepted, 100% that they have a right to feel low, they have a right to feel disturbed, they have a right to get angry. So anger, sadness, crying, tantrums are the external behaviors. We don't work on external presentations because external presentations are the consequences of internal thought distortions. Earlier, you teach your children how to manage thoughts. They would be better evolved citizens later on. They will fight their own battle. They will grow, they will evolve, they will constantly challenge their own limits, and then you have to simply keep blessing them and they will move on. And that's what you want, right? But for which, what is the best pattern? First is listening. Very important. Second is validation. We validate, we accept, we understand. Third, very important, we give them options. We don't give any solution. So first I understand, oh yes, I understand this must have gone wrong. So if I would have been in your place, definitely I would also feel low and I would also be upset. In fact, I would be more upset than what you are. I would be more irritated. I would be more hurt than what you are. But then, we have to fight the situation. We need to overcome situation. We need to move on. Don't you want to wish to move on, my son? The answer will be yes. So if at all we wish to move on, what option do you think in this given situation can help you so that you can manage the situations and be a little happier in this? So he may say, Dad, I think this one option I see. In that case, I will ask, do you think any other option is there? He may say, okay, option this also seems possible. Now, with the given situation, what normally parent would have given the solution in the right instance, if at all that solution has not come in those first two options, then as an emotion coach dad, I would offer another option by asking. I would repeat by asking, do you think that third option like this can be thought upon? We don't give solutions directly. We don't give advices. We don't give suggestions. So you may say, yes, Dad, I think so. So now with the given situation where you are heard, there are three options to deal with it. And then I would ask, so out of these three options you have to deal with the situation, what first option would you like to try when similar situation happens? Or in this situation? He may say, Dad, I would like to try with option 2. Cheers, try option 2 and work on it. By this pattern, they will understand that things may not be right ever in life. Things may go wrong. Things may not work as per my choices. Uncertainty may be there, but that should not stop me. And the feelings what I have, even others might have similar feeling, but in the given situation, we can still move on. May not be as per our choice, but still we can move on. So that an element of choice, because that's what we have in every moment of life. That's what we say. In every given situation, we have an element of one thing which is called choice. And that's what we very firmly believe as a part of Holistica World, that life is a beautiful journey from B to D, and that's birth to death. But one alphabet gets missed between B and D, that is C, and C we call as choice. Because neither B is in my hand, neither D is in my hand, but the only thing what in my hand is there is a choice. So that's what weapon we teach as an emotion coach to our children, that in every given situation, there is an element of choice. Things are not going to be rosy ever in life, but there is still an element of choice. And that's what is said, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So that's what we teach. But then we teach by asking. We don't suggest it. We don't give direct solutions. So there is a process through which we follow. And believe me, this process, whichever segment you will follow, a lot of things would happen your way. Because this is what is empowering. So here comes the last segment, which we call as finally, what we will do is that we will accept individuality and empower. So how to be empowered and how do we, finally play our role to ignite a beautiful, existence inside, which we call as peace. Just a second. So these things you need to ignite in your children, and believe me, if this investment is done, then you don't have to worry for an investment for your children in life. You can take care of your future, but children will take care of their own existence and they will do wonderful. Whatever they will do amazing. So first, very important is passion. As I said, purpose. Hungry nahi hai. भूखी नहीं लगी है तो वो खाएंगे क्यों? So one very important as an emotion coach parent through LVOS, by fulfilling peer group acceptance and role modeling. What you need to ignite in your children so that they have a very happy transition, they become a successful agent, and very important, they become a happy agent. Because if they are happy, they are going to be productive. If they are happy, they are going to be, successful. They are going to contribute to the society. So first, peace. If you want peace inside, give them peace. And what is this P? By the acronym, it says, one is a passion. Help them to identify purpose of life. And children, as I said, will give signals. Is how you are able to catch signals. That's very, very important. If you are surrounded by only numbers and marks, then you will miss out a lot of things. Children always give signals. They will show their strengths. It's how we catch up the strength. So purpose and passion. The first is purpose of life, and where you will also teach to have patience and persistence. Second, very important is exercise and lifestyle, where you need to teach them discipline, values, and other soft skills. But these things is at the most part of the life. Sports has to be a part. Sports is a culture. not just playing anything. It's a culture. Sports is basically fighting spirit, leadership qualities, time management, team management, a lot of things. So beautiful task is this. If you're really cherishing this with a calm mind, believe me, parenting task is so fulfilling, so enjoyable. But if you should, if you know that this ingredient will make the dish so beautiful, you will put that ingredient and there will be a beautiful dish. And these ingredients are put, it will be such a fulfilling task. And believe me, the 22 years of experience communicating to more than 1 lakh parents today, having an opportunity to really make a huge difference in a lot of parents. And of course, as a parent, me too. Right? These all things by applying, I sincerely would say that it's really simple, but then you need to be aware of it. So one, how you would create a hunger in, how you would create an experiences, how you would create a situations that would create hunger in him so that he finds his purpose of life. How you can be a role model so that you also exercise and he also exercises and learn certain things. Empower your child to accept, and take calculated risk. This is something very, very important. See, we always learn from failures. We never learn from success, but we are afraid of failures. So let this be, and let this all be experiential training. It can never, see, you cannot learn swimming by course. You have to go into the waters. And this is the time when you and your children, your kid, should be really in water together and, basically modify the situation so that they can enjoy swimming up there. Uncertainties, when things go wrong, create an opportunity to make a communication. What went wrong? The day my son finished his exam, always we celebrated. It was never on the marks. And on the marks, I just tell him, just sit with yourself and figure out where you probably need to correct. And that's it. When he started understanding life, one thing I ensured and told him that don't ever, worry about your bread and butter. That we would ensure that it would be well taken care. But live your life. Find out what gives you the pleasure. Find out what gives you happiness. Find out what skill you have, which you can, sharpen and contribute to the society. Give back to society. We have to pay rent to the society, but how? If we can identify those purpose of life, definitely, that's what we say. If you work what you love, then you don't have to work for life. But what you love, you never figured out. And that's what is passion. That's what is purpose of life. So contribute, so experiential, as I said, going back to the society, enjoying birthdays or, those good moments with the, many people of the society, compassion for others. And finally, whereupon I say it is empowering that beautiful soul which has come through us with all those necessary, non-judgmental attributes and options, not solutions. Giving them a menu of options so that, we empower them to select the right choice in a given situation. Give them a lot of options so that in any given situation, they will understand with your own value systems and they would really ensure that your value systems are not defeated. They will really make you feel proud. And that's what we empower so that they can evolve. And that's what our beautiful task is. That's what the task this universe is in need of. There is a lot of financial GDP development which has happened, but these things, mental health problem, which has really come at a big, numbers, and it's a young year, I would say. You know, we all need to perform so that our children evolve at a better way, and we can contribute with whatever uh, way and time we can give back to the society. So this is the time, as I said, to invest. But whether the investment is right or not, or whether the investment is in the right direction or has really made a difference, you need to sit with yourself and try to identify the early warning signs, what we said. Try to understand, is there any lack of vitamin? Is there any lack of vitamin which is leading to this? And find out what external behavior the child is showing, and look at that behavior and opportunity to talk. Give them necessary vitamins. Look at the opportunity, or look at the disturbed behavior and opportunity to talk. Use LBOS pattern in wholesale. Wholesale. Believe me, there is no chance of failures. और होगा वही जो आप चाहते हो, लेकिन उसके द्वारा. And that's the beauty of this pattern. Otherwise, you will go on suggesting and it will not happen. But if this pattern is used, it will happen what you wish, but through him. And that's the beauty of this pattern. And ultimately, by this pattern also, the child's self-respect would be well taken care. He would understand by that my parents understand me, my parents accept me the way I am, and they are empowering me by giving the right menu and choices. And definitely by having the right menu and choices, they will select the right option which is beneficial for them. And there would be a give and take always happening in life. And then we don't have to do anything. This is the only thing, the right investment you have done, the child will take up in life. So with this necessary vitamins, what you need to do, you need to ignite peace within by giving them peace, that is PACE, passion, exercise, lifestyle, accept, contribute, and empower and evolve. In that case, what will happen? You all will be a happy parent. So wish you all a very happy parent. I heartily thank you. Thank you, Ma, so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I hope I came up to some validation.
No, it was wonderful.
It was. Dharmesh ji, I have a question.
Yes. Yes, Mita.
आप प्लीज कंप्लीट कर लो, उसके बाद पूछती हूँ मैं.
Done. So I have done. I think I was to say that I'm open to questions. I will stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, please do that. So you can see everybody. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Mita.
सो धर्मेश जी, मुझे एक चीज पूछनी थी. बहुत समय टीनेजर्स में एक चीज बहुत कॉमन होती है कि बहुत समय आप स्कूल में देखोगे कि काफी बुलिंग होती है. लाइक काफी कॉमन प्रॉब्लम है वो बच्चों में. या तो बच्चे बुली खुद बन जाते हैं, या बहुत समय बहुत बच्चे दूसरों से बुली होते हैं. तो अगर वैसा सीन आता है एज अ पेरेंट, बिकॉज बहुत समय बच्चों में वो टेंडेंसी होती है कि जब कोई आपको बुली करता है, एक बार होता है, 2 बार होता है, 3 बार होता है, बट उसके बाद बच्चे ना थोड़े इंट्रोवर्ट हो जाते हैं, एंड यू कैन सी द चेंजेस हैपनिंग इन देम. सो एज अ पेरेंट, what is the best way of dealing with that situation when you know your kid is getting bullied?
So again, as I said, there are two things. LBOS पे बात करो आप लोग, ठीक है? Right? So bullying will definitely attack their self-esteem. Okay. So the self or the child is feeling upset. Okay. See, that's what the way to master your emotions. Emotional intelligence, see, how will it develop? Unless you experience those emotions, it can't develop. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But we are afraid of, we basically, there's very thin line between concern and fear or anxiety. At times we are really anxious, but then we say we are concerned. Okay, and we try to give solutions. We try to give right away suggestions for that. Okay, you don't play with these groups. You find another group. You play with me. But the child's world is rotating around those fears, and not accepted among the groups the right way or in a healthy way. It's basically a threat to child self-esteem. So considering that it is a necessary vitamin the child needs to fulfill, we take this as a great opportunity to talk. Okay, then you can play role reversal. Well, you become the child, she becomes the mother, and you take out a lot of dirt or garbage from inside. Okay, so that at least an opportunity comes where they throw all the garbages. Okay, so that becomes your listening part. We don't judge anything. Why you felt so, you should not judge. You should have thought like this. We don't, you know, uh, we don't become impatient through, convey our words in this, right? We just go on listening the garbage. That's very important. And then we validate. Oh my darling, I so much understand. Yeah, to the fighter. In fact, if I would have been in your place, I would have felt much more worse than this. Okay, but then you're really coping up well. But then you still need to cope up much better than what you're doing right now. Isn't it, my darling? So then you will ask. So you will say, yes, ma, I want to still deal with it better. Okay. So then we ask. So in the given situation, what options do you have? Okay. So she will say that, okay, I will tell her mom or I will tell my teacher. So let her come with a lot of choices.
Oh, okay.
In that case, in the first instance, which you would have suggested, if that becomes a healthier solution to her, then you can ask, do you think doing like this can help you? Or do you think that, if we arrange for a party for all of them, and we go for a good ride, will it help you? So I will take for a ride and we will do this. We never say that. As an emotion coach parent, right? We never suggest, we never advise. We always ask, and ask. We empower their thought process, even if it is a wrong for a moment, let's say. So we give them 5 choices and then we ask, out of these 5 options, what you have now, given a situation like this, which best option would you like to, have when this similar situation happens?
Okay.
See, once you will master or you will allow the children to master emotions in a given situation, their creative thinking will start. Otherwise, what is happening, in a given, they are not basically fighting the situations with the creative thinking skills. And they also need to understand that, there may be other ways to deal with it. And today it may not be the right day. So fighting uncertainties, accepting uncertainties, coming up with various options, and I have a right to feel bad. I have a right to feel upset. I have a right to feel, see what is happening, why these depressed people are committing suicides, because somehow they're not
Acceptance is not there.
Acceptance is not there within themselves or from the society. A lot of people in suicide, we have said, if in the last 5 minutes, if they would have given an opportunity where they could have expressed, he would have not committed suicide.
Right.
Okay, so if I may add something, Smita, what Dr. Shah has said, wonderful things, options, choices. I just want to give an example of my daughter who was about 6 years old, and she was bullied because you asked the question about bullying, right?
Right.
So she was bullied by her friends in school. अब 6-7 साल की बच्ची है, like I'm not going to talk to you, something like that. बच्चे तो ऐसे ही करते हैं ना, I won't speak to you, something like that. So she came home and she said that, Mama, my friend said this to me. So I asked her, did all the friends say it? So she said, no. 3 or 4 girls told me these things. The rest of the 2 friends were nice to me. So I said, okay. Next day was her birthday. So she said, I want to take chocolates to school. So I said, okay. So we'll buy some chocolates. So she bought some chocolates. And I said, where do you want to put the packet? She said, in the bag. I said, okay. Then in the night, she said, I want to take out 5-6 chocolates and keep it in my pocket. So I said, okay, why do you want to do that? So she said, no, I want to give it to those friends who bullied me. So that they will become my friends. The child's thinking, right? So I said, okay, fine. So put the chocolates in your pocket and go. So I just said, I gave her a thing. I said, give it to your friends after the school bell rings. Matlab, when you're going in the class. Because the teacher may say, why are you doing it just now? Anyway, but bacche to bacche hote hai na. So she must have reached school and sought those 3 or 4 friends and gave the chocolates to them first, thinking that they'll become my friends. Okay? So this is what she told me in the evening when she came back. Very confused she was, I said, so what happened today? Your birthday was there. They must have sung happy birthday or something. She said, Mama, you know what happened? I gave those chocolates to those girls when I reached school. And they were very happy. They said, you are my friend, you are my friend, you are my friend. And Mama, in short break, they again did not talk to me. So what happened? She said, okay. So I said to her, so what do you want to do now? She said, Mama, I think I should wait. I said, okay, so wait a couple of days and I'm sure, let's see what happens. So after 2 days, she came back to home very happy. I said, how are you so happy today? Mama, now we are all friends. So I said, beta, aise hi hota hai na? Like when you become katti with your friend, then after some time you become batti, right? So what I'm saying is, what even he is saying, Dr. Dharmesh is saying, sometimes you have to allow children to experience bad emotions.
Right.
Because you cannot set the world right.
Absolutely.
And they have to learn that they have to wait. The world will set itself right. You cannot set the world right. Right?
True.
Kathopanishad mein, Swamiji was saying, as some of you have attended, some of you have not attended. So there are 3 different obstacles, right? One obstacle is coming from yourself. Second obstacle is coming from others. And third obstacle is what you are unable to control. Okay, sources which are not known. So बच्चों को सीखने दीजिए. Delay बहुत important है जिंदगी में. हर चीज immediately नहीं मिलती है. You are not supposed to set the stage right.
Right.
Let them decide on their stage of life where they want to place characters. And they also have to learn that the characters may not be in the foreground all the time. They may go in the background. Like, I mean, we all know, right? हमारे school friends में से कितने school friends हमारे touch में है या अभी भी उतने close है? बहुत कम. Hardly, right? We have learned over the years. They will also learn. So you don't have to, be upset. I think it's important when you say that you are a coach, an emotional parent coach, you must not show your upsetness. Oh, my poor child, it's okay, beta. ऐसी जिंदगी ऐसी होती है. So let them find their own solutions. She found a solution on her own, right? And this is how children actually become emotionally balanced and stable. So what I suggest to parents is, as a parent of a young child, write out every incident that your child has faced where she has solved a problem. When she is 16 years old, like I've done, yeah, you give her all in a beautiful log book एक बनाइए सुंदर सी, okay, जिसमें आप लिखेंगे कि how she has become emotionally balanced in life because she learned these lessons herself. बच्चे तो भूल जाएंगे, है ना? But as a parent, आप एक सुंदर सी किताब अपने बच्चे को at the age of 16 or 18 gift कर सकते हैं, जहाँ पे उसकी छोटी छोटी चीजें which she learned on her own, you are writing like a story.
Wow, this is a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, thank you so much for the insight, and
Yeah.
thank you, Dr. Dharmesh, for such amazing insights.
Okay, Rahul wants to ask a question, Dr. Dharmesh.
थैंक यू धर्मेश जी, आपको बहुत अच्छा लेक्चर था आपका। मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि सो बेसिकली द ओवर nurturing and lack of crisis situation is basically the reason why there is a lack of motivation, is it? And that's what kind of causes the existential crisis in kids.
So they have never gone through the challenging situations, you know. So right from the beginning, what you must have strived for your life, and when one thing were resolved, you searched for another more better thing. That search itself is not existing in today's kids.
Okay, so the challenges are not there, is it?
Challenging is not there. Now you did not see, there is a beautiful sentence by, mother who, who lived with Sri Aurobindo. She said that pain is a beautiful blessing to put you on the path of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
So that pain is something which triggers your reason to be here, and you will find out. But these children are nurtured in so much comfort zone. Now you need not give them discomfort, but you need to give, as a parent, our role is to give them challenging situations or have experience in certain challenging situations where they can experience, how to creatively overcome those things with the right choices. Because things are going to be uncertain. As Ma said, life is not going to be certain. There would be challenges, right?
But they have to face that throughout their lives.
Yes. So why so much attrition? Why so much relationship problem? Basically, it's a low frustration tolerance. It's the poor compatibility between the two people. But then why these two people have to be like others? Why the other has to think he or she wants? So that accepting others and accepting situation also comes from the challenging situations or experiential learning of life, which these students or which this youth is lacking of. They have everything, then too, why they have to be unhappy? They have everything, then too, why they have to live their life? Why they have to kill themselves? Right?
I think Dr. Dharmesh and the others is that today's children are lacking what we call psychological flexibility. They are not flexible in their mind. Correct. Either they are rigid, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, ऐसा ही चाहिए. We are not able to see, like, I think what he said about options is very important. Exercising options in life, or there are options in life. भाई स्मार्टफोन लेना है तो options है ना आपके पास. You can buy Samsung, you can buy iPhone, you can buy this. तो इसी तरह से to handle a situation, there are options, choices. But हम क्या करते generally, I think Dr. Shah also will agree, that as a parent, we are so overly protective. हमें लगता है कि जो हमने किया ना, जैसे हमने सफर किया, हम नहीं चाहते हमारा बच्चे सफर करे, एक ही है. और दूसरा ये कि अगर वो सफर कर रहे हैं, they should not suffer. माने we should reduce their suffering immediately. अगर वो बच्चा रो रहा है तो खाना पहले ही दे दो उसको. that is why they say that jab chota baby hota hai, when the baby is born, there are many parents who will say कि अभी it's actually 3 o'clock, बच्चे को नींद में they will give the bottle of milk. Why? अरे बच्चे को रोने दो ना, let her experience hunger. उसको भूख लगी है, वो उसको experience तो करने दो कि भूख होती क्या है पहले तो. Then give the child the bottle of milk ना. तो अगर बच्चा रो रहा है उसको रोने दो, but हम लोग क्या करेंगे, ओ बच्चा रो रहा है, as if some kind of world war has happened. अरे भैया ठीक है, रो ही रहा है ना. So I think ये जो over protectiveness आ गई है आजकल के लोगों में, they want their children to excel. I don't know why, God alone knows why. At the same time, I'm sure Dr. Shah will agree, अगर आप किसी parent को पूछते हैं, what do you want your child to be when she's older, they'll say that we want our child to be happy. But they're doing everything in their power so that they will not be happy. ये समझना जरूरी है. You want the child to be happy, but actually that's wrong. You want them to be successful, prosperous, money, badi gadi, and you are actually giving the child only material comfort. But material comfort, we all are aware now, cannot give you happiness. How many people, how many children who commit suicide are from poor families? Very few. Why?
In America, they're all going into arms and all that and then shooting each other.
But why? The question is why? हमारे देश में suicide is done by children who are born in affluent families, higher, upper and middle class families, they have all their comforts. Then why are they committing suicide? Because like Rahul has just said, there is an existential angst. And trust me, in my school, many children in the 9th and 10th come to me and ask me, ma'am, what is the actual purpose of life? 15-16 साल के बच्चे ये पूछ रहे हैं. इसका मतलब है there is something lacking in the way we are raising them or the way we are speaking to them. ये important है. I'll give you another example of my daughter. Okay, I've learned all psychology practical from raising my daughter. I'm sure Dr. Dharmesh will also agree. Rahul will also agree that as we raise our children, we learn about practical psychology, right? So my daughter had a boyfriend when she was in college. At the age of 18, she met him. At the age of 23, she broke up with him. I asked her that, she told me that, Mama, I don't think he's the right guy for me. She was only 22, 23, okay? I said, please explain. So she said, Mama, he makes himself out to be a victim. And because of that, I'm acting like a persecutor. And I don't like myself. Because I don't want to be like this. Now she was talking complete sense. And she knew that agar wo isi tarah se relationship chalti rahegi, she will be very unhappy and he too will be unhappy. Agar hamara koi parent vaisa hota, who would say, no, this is very wrong. You've been going around with this guy for 4 or 5 years. Now you have to adjust. But adjustment is actually a bad word, according to me. Because you cannot adjust all your life. And I think everybody in the field of psychology, Rahul, Dr. Shah, me, everybody knows that kitne log adjust karke, they get psychosomatic ailments and then they come to Dr. Shah's clinic to reverse their sickness. जब बच्चे ने बोला है in a very clear-headed way how she is turning out to be in that particular relationship, you should understand that she's understanding herself better. I said, well, then that's your call. I never criticized. I never said anything that you have to, or you must, or you should. I said, great. I mean, if you have got that awareness and clarity, it's better that you save yourself and save him from you, So she said, yes, absolutely. I'd like to save him from me. I said, that's great. So I think what Dr. Shah possibly has not touched upon is a sense of humor. As a parent, it's very important to have a great sense of humor. Laugh with the child. That's very, very important.
Dr. Shah had just another question. that the speed breakers that you had said, would you also
Yeah.
include this, like, what I feel is that, parents lack basic, I mean, there's a lack of trust in the kids' decisions, because parents always feel that they know better.
Lack of trust in
The
kids'
kids'
decision.
decisions, because they
So,
feel that, generally, parents feel that, we know better.
so that's what I said. No, basically, as an emotion coach parent, we accept unconditionally,
Hmm.
right? We are concerned or we are afraid of their decisions so that they should not fail. That's our fear, which prevents us from communicating the right way and probably may come out in a sarcastic way, right? So a lot of times children don't talk to us, but this is the time to actually teach them that this can happen, right? And their decisions, it's okay that they may fail, or certain of their decisions may not work. So once when you said about experiential, existential, crisis or existential requirement, that's what we may not give pains or discomfort from the right beginning, but then we give them experiences. So I always, did one thing, that a lot of occasions in my house, we always went to those places where we get a lot of learning, right? So we will go to the places where there will be poor people or vridashram or old age homes and the disabled schools. Because being into child psychiatry, we had a lot of opportunities to connect with these people, right? Then we will talk. Okay, now he is pursuing physiotherapy, we are into wellness. So now with this physiotherapy, what do you think, how you can contribute? So basically, listening, talking, it's not an easy roadway, of course. There's a lot of roller coasters in that. But then with this insights and vitamins in awareness, probably things has gone better. Okay, so that the dealing with my son has become better. Right.
Also, doctor, like, what I've noticed is that, people, the parents specifically, they value kids for their achievements rather than for what they really stand for. Like, I mean, what they really are. I mean, this is what I feel, that, if you feel whatever a parent feels is achievement as such. I mean, you have your own yardstick of achievement, and you feel that, okay, ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, but वो बच्चा जैसे है उसको हम लोग accept नहीं करते,
True.
appreciate नहीं करते.
True.
That's one of the biggest problems, right, the parents face. Children face that.
I mean, either achieved or not achieved, that becomes more important than what the child is.
Absolutely.
Correct.
That is why, Rahul, the problem is that we are not able to accept the being. We are looking at the doing.
Mm-hmm.
What is the child doing is more focused upon than how the child is being. Like the child is a happy child, sitting, studying, maybe playing, reading, writing, but we are not happy with that. What are you doing? Why are you not doing this?
Mm-hmm.
So our focus is more on doing. Human doing ho gaya instead of human being. That's our problem.
Very nice. Very well said.
Okay, so any more questions? You can always, I think he is in our group. So all questions can be routed on his number, and you can flood his WhatsApp with questions. Right, Dr. Dharmesh?
Pleasure again, ma'am. Pleasure always.
But I would like to summarize 3 important points. One,
very good.
Hunger जो इन्होंने बोला, आज के बच्चों को हंगर ही नहीं है तो दे डोंट वैल्यू किसी भी चीज की. हंगर होगी तो हम वैल्यू करेंगे. सेकेंडली, जो गेम्स है, आउटडोर गेम्स है, आई रिमेम्बर जब हम खेलते थे स्कूल के बाद में सब भूल जाते थे. एक तरीके से आई थिंक दैट वाज लाइक अ मेडिटेशन. आप आके होमवर्क करो, दैट्स इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट. एंड थर्ड पॉइंट जो एक मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा वो ये कि 20 मिनट्स आप बच्चे को दो और उसमें से 18 मिनट्स सिर्फ सुनो. दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग. क्वेश्चंस होंगे तो पर्सनली पूछ लेंगे.
Excellent. So Dr. Dharmesh, thank you so much, and thank you everybody for being here today.
So much,
And
Thank you so much.
thank you.